Hold up, pause music. Wagwan Pussios, we got another trade recap for you today. Um, initially we're bearish. I'm not gonna lie. Initially, I was bearish. I wanted to find a trade entry to this 1 hour low on Nasdaq, or find an entry to these low resistance lows to fill this 4 hour fair value gap on ES. Either one. That's what I was looking for upon market open. But as you can see, we just shot right up, made equal highs with all-time highs on Nasdaq, and my bias completely switched. I wanted to look for an entry to get these equal highs, because I'd rather when we're at all-time highs, I'd rather look for bullish than bearish trades. So I'm happy with myself today just because I didn't marry my bearish bias. There was no opportunities to even take a bearish trade in my opinion, regardless. So it was pretty easy to kind of navigate today. Anyway, so on the 5-minute time frame, I was just waiting for a retracement once we made these all-time highs, which you got here. I was waiting to see if we'd fill this gap. We didn't. I was waiting to see if we filled this gap. We didn't. Waiting to see what we do with this gap. We filled it. So I was just waiting for a 1 minute break of structure back to the upside. As for ES, we only had this gap and this gap, and we filled this gap perfectly without inversing it. It was small, so it could have been inverse a lot easier. So that obviously fueled me to want to be bullish even more. I entered twice here, so obviously whatever filled this 5 minute for value gap, and then I entered here, about here, it doesn't matter, but stops underneath this low and underneath this low, and targeting the 4 hour high. Once we came up to here, I moved my stops to here, and then once we broke structure to the upside, like on the 1 minute here, I went stops at break even, and yeah, the trade banged there. But where I did enter again, I don't know if I am missing a candlestick here. Damn, that's unfortunate. Okay, well anyway, so I entered beforehand. Before I took this trade, I entered here as well. There was a gap here, and we inversed it. I definitely didn't enter all the way up here, because I remember my projection was like maybe here, and it was the same idea. Stops are at the same spot. Oh, stops are at the same spot, and take profit was at the same spot as well. So the exact same idea, but whatever. So we come down, and then so after changing direction back to the upside, we changed direction back to the downside when we broke structure here on this candlestick closure here. So there, honestly, since we were so close to my stops already, and also having this equal low here, I closed myself out of that trade because I wanted to see, well, one, if we'd break 5 minute structure here, because this ended up being a 5 minute low. So if you would have broken 5 minute structure to the downside, obviously pair that with a bunch of other confluences, there was potential for me to take shorts to here. So I closed that trade, but with the idea that, look, man, if we inverse something back to the upside, or break structure back to the upside, we could just re-enter it, you know. So yes, that did make me not win as much as I should have, because obviously I lost here, so some of the profits had to go towards making back the loss. However, I'm still pretty happy with the way I traded, because for sure we could have came in and reswept this low as well, just because we just tapped into this gap. So that's that. And then kind of explaining where I went here again. So I looked at this as, okay, a bunch of people probably entered at this point here after filling this gap and stuff like that. So where do people have their stop losses? Underneath this low, underneath the low that was created here, that you can't see just because of the candlestick. But whatever, we came and we swept that out. So once I saw that we swept that out and then broke back to the upside, I was like, all right, this is just a 1 minute liquidity sweep to go higher, re-enter it. Entered a bit late actually. I was gonna enter here, but I was kind of skeptical. I was going between Nasdaq and ES, seeing what ES was kind of saying. And extremely bullish. Also, like there was some bearish SMTs on the 1 minute time frame too. So that was that also initiated me wanting to close this trade early. However, once we did this, the trend is your friend, all time highs is your friend. Fuck it, place that buy, and we never went and draw down once on this trade. So overall, pretty clean trading day. If I could change anything, I probably would have upped the risk on this trade, just because it's like, all right, well, we already swept this. Where we're like, I probably should have up my risk here. I de-risked on this trade simply because of this huge move up. I was like, all right, like let's calm down. Let's see what price wants to do. Let's de-risk a little bit, and then in turn that made me want to de-risk this trade as well because we had already taken this $100 loss. So this trade was more about making back the loss and a little bit of profit. So we're only up $100 on the account, which is nothing on the day. Sorry. Um, it is what it is. Like I'm set over it, but definitely could have upped risk today. Overall, pretty clean trading day setup, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. Good luck trading. Bitcoin's doing pretty good. Bitcoin's doing great. I just bought more the other day at 79 and we're already back up to 80. Wow, that's crazy, dude. Hold on. This is like since the morning. Jeez, this is 9:30 here. Buy fucking Bitcoin, bro. Buy Bitcoin. Anyway, boys, peace out. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Take care.